What's going on, everybody? Daryl Andrews again here, Coach D, going with another one of our lives. And this one is not necessarily going to be sort of instructional, but it's going to just be a conversation based upon a question that I've been asked a lot in my career, which I've been doing, as many of you know, for close to 2 decades. And it's been truly an amazing thing to do. Um, and it's been an honor and a privilege doing this work, and we've adjusted it to different areas of focus over the years, but we've remained consistent, very consistent to what our mission has been from day one. And so it's exciting to be on here and talk about this subject because there's a lot of people that are having conversations out there about pursuing their dreams. And let me take you on a journey because this is what typically happens. And this is for those of you on, you may want to listen to this because it's going to be educational to some extent. Okay. So you think about it when you're a child, hey, teacher, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on board. Yeah. And this could be some good information for your clients that you work with. So kind of roll with me on this one. And if you have any feedback or thoughts as we're doing this, please type it in the chat feature. We may highlight it here so people can see you, your name, and your comments. So feel free to participate with us. But you think about it, when you're a kid starting in the earlier years of life, one thing you hear a lot is go after your dreams, grow up and pursue what's in your heart. You hear that all the time. I mean, you know, there's when you're a kid, no limitations, go for the dream, pursue it, become somebody, do something, dream big. These are things that kids hear all the time. All right. So, hey, Hamill, good to see you too, man. And I'm glad you're on board. Any comments as to what I'm saying, please type them in the chat feature and we will pop them up on the screen so people can see them. So, but when you're a kid, you hear that all the time. So kids grow up and they hear this, and some of them take it seriously. Okay. Not everyone does, but some do. And they say, okay, well, I'm pursuing my dream. So, whatever that dream may be, an engineer, an athlete, a teacher, whatever it may be, it could be a dream that you have. And so that's that kid. So then many times people go off to college, let's say, in pursuit of this dream. And you still have folks there that say, go for your dream and pursue the dream, and we believe in you. And you hear all of that, bro, pretty consistent stuff that goes on, you know, when it comes to people pursuing their dreams. So you get that early stage motivation where everybody believes in you and everybody stands with you and everybody's like there. But then something happens. And this is the part I'm trying to get to. Then some people actually pursue their dreams and start to live it to some extent. All right. Be it in business, be it in politics, be it in, and then all of a sudden, all of those people who had encouraging words for you, their words aren't so encouraging anymore. Then they're questioning everything. They're questioning what you do and why you're doing it. All these different things, and you're like, wow, really? Seriously? Like, people are saying, then all of a sudden, as you start to get into the mix and you're doing stuff, then negativity pops up from folks. People have things to say. People, those throw pot shots at your work and your mission, and they say things and they ask you questions, and you're like, where did this come from? Why are you even asking that, or why did this come up? So now, I'm saying this for a reason, because a lot of times people give up on their dreams, and the number one reason why they give up on their dreams is other people. Don't ever forget that. Most folks don't achieve a dream because of what somebody else says about you. And so I'll take myself being in the work that I'm in. I've always been visible with my work because it's just the nature of my work. I'm a consultant, I'm a speaker, I've been in magazines, radio, television. And so that gives you a high level of visibility, which means a lot of people get to see your world and your work in action. And from that, you're naturally going to get some resistance. People going to say things and, things like that. But you know, the weirdest question that people ask me over the years, one of the weirdest questions that I've had this from people close to me and people not close to me. But it's the weird, strangest question for a person that you've been told your life growing up, you know, pursue your dreams, pursue your goals, go after your dream, blah, 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 blah. And the question is how long are you going to do that for? I can't even count the number of people that have asked me, how long are you going to do this for? So here's the thing. You don't go up to the doctor and ask the doctor, how long are you going to do that for? You know, you don't go up to a teacher and you ask the teacher, how long are you going to do this for? Or you don't go up to certain people, how long are you going to do it? You don't even ask them. But for certain careers and certain aspirations and certain dream pursuits, people have to question you about, and let me tell you why people do it. All right. And this is not about negativity, but I want you to understand, pursue your dream despite what people say. When you're doing something and it's visible, what it typically will do sometimes is with people is it gets them to go introspective and they start to look at their own lives and they realize, I'm not doing what I love to do, or I'm not doing what I'm called to do. And so they see you visible because you have a visible career, you know, then they see you, and then all of a sudden that whole thing that's inside of them or what they're not doing with their lives starts to really come alive. And then so they want to look at you and challenge you. You know, like I said, they won't go to that doctor and say that, they won't go to that lawyer and say that, but they'll go to you. And so particular people have careers where you're out in the public and people see you a lot. I want to tell you, if you're doing what you love to do it as long as you want to do it with as much enjoyment and fulfillment as possible. So I was in church, I asked, can I get a witness? Don't let people divert you off your dream. And I always laugh when people ask me that question, how long are you going to do? I'll do this. My mentor, Zig Ziglar, dog, did it to his last breath. You know what I mean? And many others I know that have done this. We just lost Bob Proctor. He was 90 doing it. 90 and still transforming lives. Still transforming lives. And like, what do you mean how long? When if it's nothing wrong with a person finding what they love to do. Listen to me, friends. All right. There you go. There you go. That's it. There you go. Come on. That's what I'm saying, Howard. Thank you for that input. I'm gonna pop that one right on up there. That's what I'm saying. Love that. Yeah. You see, and so, you know, man, listen, you just keep going. You keep pressing. You do what you love to do, man. It's you. And the reason why I say this is because we live in a society where everybody, so many people are not fulfilled when it comes to these type of things, that they're looking for any reason to find somebody and make them feel less than because they don't feel good about themselves. I'm just being real with y'all today, you know, because I've heard people go through this stuff and I've gone through it. I said, man, this is ridiculous. You know, how you don't walk up to certain people and ask them that question about their, but you go to certain people and then you ask them that question. Well, how long are you going to do this for? Well, how long are you going to do what you're doing for? Do you even like what you're doing? Why do you keep hopping every 2 years? Is it that you don't feel fulfilled in your career? You can't find that thing that seems to get you motivated to get up in the morning and do what you love to do. So when you find somebody that does that, you vilify them. You make them feel less than. But when they were a kid, you say, go for the dream, go for the goal. Then they do it. And then all of a sudden you're picking at them as adults because they've done it. What I'm trying to say to you, my friends, is don't ever allow the words of other people. All right. That's right. Okay, I put you up there, Tisha. That's right. Because I like that. You're talking, sir. You see, you know, and so the reality is that we got to understand some of us have a mission in life, be it speaking, training, cooking, cleaning, and it's your lane, and you don't have to answer to anybody. You don't. And there are going to be plenty of people on the journey that you're on that's going to support you and encourage you in your journey. Run with them. You see, my career has been visible for so long. All I've gotten over my career most of the time is vilification. People just got negative to say about this, negative to say about that. Who are you? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Oh, and I just look at them and say, I feel sorry for you. that you, first of all, got to take so much time to pay attention to my career because you're so unfulfilled in yours. You see, what you should be doing when you see people doing what they love to do is be happy for them and say, well, how can I learn? And how could I grow? And what can I get out of this? And now let me clarify. I'm not complaining because I'm good. I'm doing this for you or somebody out there that's in a similar situation. But as far as coach, I'm good. I don't need any affirmation from any human being. But I'm saying I'm staying the course because this is what I love to do. We consult corporations, we consult government agencies. I go out and speak and keynote at conferences. That's still there. But speaking, I'm not, for those of you who think I'm just the motivational speaker, that is so far removed from what we do here. You know what I mean? That was 20 years ago. It's not today. Today we're doing projects and consulting and we got teams but what I do, I love. I love the flexibility. I love the freedom. I love the ability to imagine and create. I love to be able to take ideas that don't even exist and turn them into something that ends up impacting countless lives. I'd love to do this. So I don't have a end date, as most people want you to have. Like, how long are you gonna do this for? I'm like, why are you asking? It was funny. Like, there's these two people that live in the state I live in. They got together in cahoots and said, let's figure out how long coach is going to do this for. I don't even talk to these people. I don't even know them. I have no interaction with them whatsoever. But they've taken the time to think about how long is he going to do this for. So that means I must be doing something for you to notice. People don't have those kind of comments with people they don't notice. They're not even thinking about them. But when you're visible and you're using your life to count and you're trying to make a difference, and all of a sudden here come folks showing up. And so, I know this message is going to be a blessing to someone out there. It may not be all of you, but when you're pursuing your dreams, you keep going for it. I like what Howard said. I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps, Thomas Edison. You just keep going. You keep pressing. Even when you're pursuing it and doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Be like Colonel Sanders, who was rejected 1,009 times with Kentucky Fried Chicken. And 1,010th, he got the funding. And next thing you know, y'all out there getting fat off of chicken. You see? So the reality is when you're pursuing something, you got to keep pressing, man. And not everybody's going to understand it. Surround yourself with people who understand. You see, I don't have a big circle, but my circle, the people I run with, we encourage each other. We inspire each other. We talk about, with our customers, how's it going? What are you doing well? What are you not doing well? How can I help you? How could you help me? And so people see Coach D and think all I have in my whole world is just me. That's crazy. There's a whole bunch of people in my circle. And so, that's what you really don't pursue your dreams. The negativity is going to always be there. And the evidence that you're doing something with your life is that people are paying attention. They're looking at your life and they're saying, man, you still doing that? Yeah, I'm still doing that. Still taking care of my family, still blessing my household, still blessing others, still, putting my kids through college, still all this stuff. Yes, doing what I love to do. Doing what I love to do. And so you don't have to answer anybody's request when it comes to your dreams. And you don't have to get approval from everyone. Let me tell you what naturally happens when you start pursuing what's inside your heart to pursue. The supporters are going to show up in droves. I have so many people that, they see me, man. They see, folks around me that see our circle. They're just supportive. They're encouraging. Their words just mean a lot. My children just did a birthday party for me. My wife found all these folks that business people I do business with. And I think she said she went on my cell phone to see who I was texting. She had all these people. I like that. I said, where did people come from? My birthday party. It's a big birthday, so I understand why she did it. But here's the thing. I was almost in tears hearing what everybody had to say. A lot of them were customers and lifelong friends. And you realize, man, all these lives impacted, man, by just living life the way God told me to live it. You know what I'm saying? All these lives impacted, and still more being impacted now. I was on the phone with 2 mentees today, 2 people I'm mentoring. And so what I'm saying is, don't allow the words of others to derail you from what it is you're called to do. And if you, like me, have been doing it a long time, and everybody want to figure out how long you going to be doing this for, let them go to sleep thinking about that. That's their axe to grind, not yours. You don't have anything to feel guilty about. You don't have anything to have to justify. You're doing what you love to do. And so I think when I look at it realistic, I think most people on the planet, that's what they want anyway. You see what I'm saying? To do what's in their heart to do what means something, meaning something. So I don't want to seem like I'm coming off as negative, because that's be terrible for a person who spends his time motivating. But I don't like when people constantly have to ask you questions because of their own insecurities. Okay? It's their own insecurities. So for those of you out there in workforce development, tell your clients that, you know what? You're going to have people that's going to try to, deter you and derail you from pursuing what's inside of you. Do it anyway. If you're on a college campus and you're working with college students, tell them, you know what? It's all comfortable here. People trying to encourage you. When you get out there, it's going to get negative words, and the same people that were supporting you, now going to say something negative about you. Do it anyway. Okay. If you're raising your kids, raise them with some resilience to be able to take when people come at them with stuff, so they don't buckle and not do it because of something somebody else said. Man, stay strong. I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't change 1 ounce of my life. All the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the struggles, the challenges. You know what I mean? My mom raising us the best she can raise us. The good days, bad days, food sometime, for some time not having it. The reality is I wouldn't change anything, because it helped to make me to be the man I am today. And so, like I said, I'm not looking, like, for me, I don't look for any pats on the backs. Believe me, I get a lot of accolades in my life. I mean, from my customers, and when I stand on stages, I got the most supportive and beautiful family a man could ever ask for. My wife has fully got my back. My kids are there for their dad. My friends, I got friends that's amazing, that's supportive, that don't judge, that aren't, my circle. I got a group of guys I connect with. We created called Dads United. We get together, man. We just raising our kids together, 6 of us, inspiring our families, inspiring our kids. Plenty of support. But you're going to have some of those out there that they're going to judge you. They're going to label you. They're going to say things about you. And I'm saying this because that's the number one reason why people don't pursue their dreams, because of other people. And so my thing is, hey, man, nobody really knows you till they get to know you. And for folks that's out there, that get a little, they want to, say negative things about people, why don't you try to get to know the person? Maybe if you get to know them and know their heart and know their dreams and their drives and their desires, you will see that person in a different way. You will see them in a different way. Instead of being jealous and envious and hating on them because of your perception of them, maybe if you get to know them, you may find it's a totally different person you could have ever imagined. I'll say this when I'll close. When see, I love that, man. Hamel, that's going right on up there. Some people will never like you because your spirit irritates their demons. I've heard that one before in Denzel. I love that, man. Hamel and I have been knowing each other for about 25 years, man. You're a good guy, Hamel. Appreciate you, brother. I really do. And but let me tell you a quick story. And so I live in Syracuse, New York. And so, I grew up in the inner city part of Syracuse. I lived everywhere in Syracuse. So, got to know all sides of the towns. But, we always kind of lived in our neighborhoods, and it was cool. Good people, learned a lot, grew a lot, and everything else. But there was this one guy who lived in the suburbs, right? And he had a very successful business. And a lot of folk in the town talked about this guy, man. They talked about him. He blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And he had gone and built this big, lucrative, I think it was like a law practice or something like that. And I think he was from the community. He bought this home and he moved out there. And all you would hear about this man was negative. This, he think he better than, he think he's better than me. He think he's somebody. All as a kid, that's all I heard. One day I was at a grocery store, and that man was in the store, And I was always an inquisitive kid. So I'm like, boy, I wonder why people talk about this man so much. And I just walked up to him and I said, "Hello, sir. How you doing?" He looked at me and said, "Hey, young man, how you doing today?" And he said, "What's your name?" I said, "My name is Daryl Andrews." He told me his name. He said, "What are some of your dreams for the future, man?" And now he's here talking to a little 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy like I was his son. And he said, "Oh man," he said, "all I've ever done was pursue my dreams and my goals. And, and it just, man, to see young guys like you, it gives me hope because I can tell you have something inside of you." And now I'm like, what man are they talking about? Who is this guy? And let me tell you what I figured out as a young boy. The reason why they did that, talked about him, because he pursued his dreams, he changed his life, and he decided to go a pathway of buying a home, and he didn't remain the same. People want you to stay what they want you. They want you to remain what they want you to. They put you in a box, and you're okay in this box. You're okay. But don't you dare come outside of it. Because when you step outside that box, now you've changed. You're different. You know what I call it, my friends? It's not changing or different. It's called maturity. When you're a kid, the Apostle Paul said this and says, "When I was a child, I thought like a child and I acted like a child. But when I became a man, I put off childish ways." So no, that person is no longer the same little boy or the same young man or the same teenager. They changed, they went for their dreams, they shifted, and they just went and did something for themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. I had several interactions with that man after that, and they were all good. But leave it to the folks that I knew. This dude was just the worst human being in the world. They never got to know the man. They just labeled him. And so don't ever allow someone's labeling of you in words to take you off your course. You stay the course. I remember one time I got a chance to go back to my hometown and speak. Syracuse, the Syracuse Education Foundation had me come in and speak, and it was phenomenal. It was at the On Center for those in Syracuse. It was at the On Center, and I think there had to be probably close to 1,000. It was incredible. One of the highlights of my going back home to speak. And so they invited me in to speak, and there was so many people there from the school district, Syracuse University, political folks, and I'm speaking in my hometown. And I remember my mom was there, and unfortunately, my mom is dealing with dementia right now, and it breaks my heart every day to see her in this mode. But she was in the audience and full of tears, literally crying, and your boys are with their mom. We always joking, So my mom and I had a good relationship. We always laughing and joking with each other. So I walked up to her, and I got the standing ovation after I spoke there, and I walked up to her, and the people were clapping because guy come home speak. I was excited about that, and I hugged my mother because he's the first one I asked. That's the one I went. I went to hug her, and I hugged her. I said, "What are you crying about? What are all these tears?" I said, a boy talking to his mother. "What are you crying about?" And she looked at me. She said two things. She said, "Remember when I told you when you were a little boy that one day you were going to use that mouth to make a difference?" Now, for all you mothers out there, can I get an amen? I should have a flood of mothers typing something in the chat feature. He said, "I knew that one day you were going to use that mouth to make a difference." Because, boy, I was one of them folks that always had something to say. All right. But then she said this. She said, "Remember when I told you to stay away from negative people because negative people drain you. Hang around positive, and positive people will lift you up." She said, "Son, I'm so glad you listened to me. I'm so glad." When I went to high school and all that, I was always around folks that were positive and making good choices. My lifelong friend, Darren Price, and I, we were just together up in Syracuse. His wife is Pastor Paris Price, and she's the pastor of Harriet Tubman Memorial Church in Auburn. And we were up there celebrating the bicentennial of Harriet Tubman. And just, he's one of just these, me and I have been running the longest, but there's others. And you know what? That's who I ran with. Because you know what? We continually, to this day, all these years later, continue to lift each other up. Now, so don't run. Matter of fact, my buddy Darren, he has a company called Right Price Companies, and one of the fastest growing Black-owned firms in the city of Syracuse. I'm proud of them. Okay, proud of them. You know why? We run together. And so I've been doing this a lot longer than I thought I was. I'm gonna do about 15 minutes. We're at 25, so I'm gonna end this. But don't let people's negative words derail you from your dream. If you're a young person out there, and you know I've done a lot of work with youth over the years, do not associate with anyone who continually puts down the ambitions that you have in you. You find 2 or 3 friends, create what I call a dream team. You only need a few people. You don't have to run with 1,000 people all your life. You get 2 or 3 of them, and y'all do life together and keep encouraging each other, because those other folks are going to suck the life out of you. You know, even we adults, man, that's just been my friend forever. Still be friends, but don't run with them, because you don't need people that's going to pull you down on a consistent basis. If they have challenges themselves, help them. Maybe they get some help. Maybe go get some therapy. Maybe they can find somebody that can support them. But you can't deplete your energy because of the negativity of others, because you can't pour out of an empty tank. And so I'm just, I don't know, this thing just dropped in me today. And I said, let me just share this a little. I mean, there may be people out there think I'm crazy. I don't know what you're thinking. But for those of you who want to know more about what we do, there's my information. We work with organizations, corporations, businesses, workforce development groups. That's our primary market. And we just been doing this for a long time and transforming a lot of lives. We've been working with these companies, helping to build their cultures. We get in there and work with leadership teams and get them to seeing things a different way, because there's nothing like a positive organizational culture, nothing like it. And it can be done, but it's not going to happen on its own. You got to work at it. And we deal a lot with leadership development, leadership coaching, training and development. And we love what we do, because when we not walk away, when we're done, we leave the organizations we work with a lot better off than when we came in. And it's when I say we, it's me and those of us who are part of this team. So my information is in there. You know what I mean? If you have any questions, reach out to us. I mean, sometimes people like to debrief from these little sessions we do. That's all I got for you. To be blessed. And remember, pursue your dreams despite the negativity of others, because here's the thing. 90% of the people don't achieve their dreams is because of somebody's words. Don't be one of those people. All right. And for those you who may ask me when you see me, how long are you going to be doing this? And I'm going to be doing it till the good Lord takes me home or gives me instruction to do something else. Take care.